So, you might have heard about this game that's come out. Pathologic 2. It's essentially a remake of the very first Pathologic game. And here's the thing. I love it. I love the atmosphere. I love the gameplay. I love the story. I love the way it sucks you into the world that it's created. Yes, it's melodramatic. Yes, it can be overly depressing in some places. Yeah, the combat is kind of janky. And when it comes to its visual effects, it's not exactly the most up-to-date, impressive graphics you've ever seen. But here's the thing. I really love it despite all of those little flaws. I can overlook the minor aesthetic problems and the slightly bad combat. But here's one thing that you might get annoyed by easily. The game is really hard. And even with the difficulty adjusted, it's still really hard. It can be difficult to figure out what it is you're supposed to be doing, and it can be very difficult just getting from place to place. You might feel that you need some help. You could just use a little bit of extra something to push through the game. Just slightly putting your thumb on the scale. But worry not, there is a way. And I'm going to lay out exactly how you can put your thumb on that scale. I'm going to show you how to unlock the console commands for Pathologic 2. I'm going to show you how to tinker with the world. I'm going to show you how to cheat in Pathologic 2. And it's actually pretty simple. Here's how it starts out. First things first, I'm the illest. Drop this in the whole world village. Just kidding, just kidding. What you're going to do is, when you bring up the game and actually get started in the game with a new game, what you're going to do to open up your console is you're going to press Control Shift F4. You got that? Control Shift F4. That'll bring up the whole console command UI that you need. Let's work from there. And now after pressing Control Shift F4, you're going to bring up the console. And this is what it's going to look like when you first do it. See? Upper left hand corner, System, Console, Inspector. Now System's not important right now. Neither is Inspector. What we want to do is Console. And what you're going to enter is this. Just simply get. Voila! Look at all it shows. You're going to see stuff like the walk speed, walk back speed, run speed, the gravity multiplier, etc., etc., etc. All stuff that you're going to find incredibly helpful. And what we need to change is stuff like the run speed and the jump speed and the gravity multiplier. You can change that by typing in set, then space, then run under dash speed, and then a number, a high number. We're going to change it to 12, and then we're going to do the same thing for jump speed, set that to 12. And now for the gravity multiplier, we want less gravity, so it's going to be not a whole number, but 0.5, cutting gravity in half. What does that do? Watch. Whee! Look how high we can go. That's what happens when you take the gravity off. And you can go super fast. So you can basically just like bound all around the town. It's a lot of fun being able to just fool around and go places where the creators of the game had no idea you were going to be capable of going to. So you can basically just completely go hog wild with the console commands like this. But in case you're more interested in doing other stuff besides, just having fun doing all that, you can add items to your inventory and things like that. Going into Inspector, under the Update Services, and you're going to want to look for the Player Updater. Yep, it's going to be right down here underneath Weather Updater. Don't fool around with the other stuff. We want to do Player Updater. For starters, you're probably going to want to make yourself immortal. So go to Objects, Player, look down, and there's a whole host of options. You're going to see, first of all, is dead. Don't interfere with that. Is immortal is something you're going to want to interfere with. When you first start a game up, it's going to say, is immortal false? You want to change the value to true. Once you do that, you essentially can't die if you do those high jumps or stuff like that. So you can have fun to your heart's content. Do that before you do any of the fiddling with the running and the jumping. Just a little warning. So once you've made yourself immortal, you can then move on to changing other things. For example, you can change your health. How healthy you are, how hungry you are, how thirsty you are. Let me show you an example. We're going to go into health. That's good. That's good. Don't want to fiddle with that. Let's go into hunger. Change that. See? You're kind of hungry at the moment. Well, let's change that. Put it to 0. Also going to change the fatigue. We're not tired at all. And let's see how we've changed. Go into inventory, stuff like that. See? Looks pretty good. But in case you want a more first-hand demonstration, hold on a second. Go back to inspector. Change the hunger. Look in the behind the screen. See? It goes all red when you changed it. Then you change it back. Green again. Red. Green. Red. Green. See? Nice and simple. So that's how you can fiddle with the status effects that you're given. But of course, you can do a lot more than that. Not only can you basically make yourself invincible and cure yourself of hunger and thirst, you can add items to your inventory. You saw the inventory in the upper right hand corner. I've got milk, a heart, etc, etc, etc. You can add items to your inventory, and here's a list of all the items. All you gotta do is enter this in. Enum-storable. Enum-storable lists all the items that you see on the screen. Stuff that you find in kids' treasure chest. Bread, ammunition, guns, apples, walnuts, canned goods, even, yes, cures to the sand plague. Specifically, there's one cure to the sand plague, a panacea. So there's a lot you can add to your inventory, and enum storable lists all of them. But if you want to list, or rather a specific command of how you add this stuff in, what you're going to do is you're going to type add storable entity to the console command. Let me show you. Add storable /storable, and let's not add fresh fish. Let's add something nice and simple and helpful, a revolver. Watch. See? Now you got a brand fancy new revolver. And by the way, revolvers, you can sell them for a lot, so guns are pretty helpful. So now, you got a nice new revolver. Let's add some more stuff. So, add item, or rather, add storable /storable, and the colon. Let's add a ring. Yes, just a ring. A little thing that you can sell for some extra cash and maybe to some kids or something. Voila! New ring. Let's do one more thing just to really get the idea of how much you can add. Let's add the cure to the sand plague. Let's add the panacea. Add storable colon, panacea, _ entity, and voila! The cure to the sand plague. And that is how you can basically make Pathologic 2 far, far easier and a lot more fun to play with. I mean, if you want to. You don't have to do any of this stuff. I'm just putting it out here because I basically haven't seen any YouTube videos added. And I also haven't seen any YouTube videos that pointed out stuff like this. Watch what happened when I tried to get onto the polyhedron. I fell through it. You want to know why? Because you, the Bachelor, are never actually supposed to get on the polyhedron. The game has no answer for you trying to do that. You're breaking the game in trying to do that. So, you just go right on through. It's as if you don't exist at all. Pretty cool, huh? So, anyway, I hope you find all this stuff useful, and I hope it helps you have a good time in Pathologic too. I know it helped me a lot. Take care.